Hi, Joe Cribb here with another Cigar Box guitar lesson for you. I thought we could further explore this famous bluegrass lick that we learnt in my last video, the G run or the G lick. Hopefully you've looked at that video, you've learnt the lick, and we can continue from there. If you haven't seen that video, it's important you have a little look at it before you start taking on this stuff. I'm going to continue using a pick for this, but use your fingers if you want. There's a little bit at the end, hopefully, of the lesson where I will use my fingers anyway on an example. The first thing I thought we could do is tag a couple of little lines onto the end of the phrase to create more of a riff out of it, or a loop. I'm going to tab each of these examples out, and they'll be on my blog at cigarboxnation.com, so go take a look at those. So the first line we're going to tag onto the end is this. If we take the original G lick, I'm in G tuning again as normal, which is G, D, G. If we take the original line that we learnt last week, we end up on an open first string. Now, instead of just playing that string on its own, I want you to play it as a part of a chord. So now I want you to strum this second string and the first string together, right at the end of the line. It should sound like this. Again, a little slower. Okay, so we've added that onto the end of the line. It's important to add that onto the end of the line because each of these phrases is going to start with these two open strings. So phrase one that we're going to add is, we've hit these two open strings. Now I want you to hit them again. Then I want you to put your first finger on the second fret of our second string, and again strum down using these two strings, the second string and the first string. Then I want you to release this finger and strum down on the two open strings again. So we just break that down again. We play our original line, end up on our chord. Now I want you to hit that chord again, finger down on the second fret, second string, play a chord, release and play the two open strings again. So again, I will be tabbing this out for you. So that's the first example. Now the second example we're going to do is very similar. Play our original line, ending with a chord. Then we're going to play that chord again, just like last time. This time, instead of jumping down onto the second fret, we're going to jump down onto the third fret. And we spoke about this in the last lesson. This is the flat 7, slightly more bluesy sound. Play a chord, release and play the open strings again. So this is exercise 2, and I'll play it nice and slowly. With all these lines as well, you're free to phrase them how you like. Maybe on that 3rd fret you might want to tweak that slightly. By that I mean I'm just bending that 3rd string down a little bit. 3rd string, I'm sorry, I'm bending this 3rd fret 2nd string down a little bit. Even when I'm playing the chord, would sound like this. Okay, this brings us on to the 3rd little exercise. It's similar to that lick, but we're going to incorporate the slide. And this time, at the end, we're going to still play our chord twice, the open strings. Then, instead of using our fingers on the 2nd or the 3rd fret, we're going to slide our bottleneck from the 2nd fret up to the 3rd fret. Alright, just the once. And then we're going to release it and play a chord. Okay, so I'll loop that round. First, quite slow. Okay, so that's number 3. Number 4, just like all the others, we end up on this chord. Now instead of playing this chord again, we're going to put our finger down on the 3rd fret of the 2nd string and play a chord. Then we are going to move to the 2nd fret, play a chord. Then we're going to release and play the open strings again. So this is exercise 4. I'll play it nice and slow. Okay, so there's a few little things that we can do there by tagging on some other lines onto the end of the lick. Another little thing I thought I'd show you quickly is a technique that I use quite a lot when I'm playing a country type song, which is this groove. And what I'm doing there is I'm playing with my pick down on this 3rd string along with my tap. And then in between the tap, the and beats that we've discussed before, I strum down on the 2nd and the 1st string. So played nice and slowly. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and so on. Now you've got some choices with what to do with this hand. We can either play an open sound like that, or if you like, you can try starting to palm mute with your palm. This part of your hand here can just rest down across your strings like that. Now you don't want to push down necessarily, else you get a very muted sound. You're almost just resting them there, they're just touching. And then you get this damp sound. It's quite nice. If I take that away, we get an open sound. So I do it slower. Open. So there's a few little things to consider. Now just to take it round, a really basic chord progression, a 1-4-5 progression. So in C, we're in G. In G, we'd have our G chord, which is just our open strings. Then we can take this to the 5th fret. Now either with your slide placed across the 5th fret, or you can just bar your finger, push down across this 5th fret. We end up with another chord, our 4 chord, which is C if we're in the key of G. And we play exactly the same with our pick. So I'll play those one after the other. G chord first, 1, and 5th fret, back to 1, and 4, and 1. Just one note there, when I say a 4, we've got something called a 4 chord. Now it's not on the 4th fret, we're on the 5th fret there. I don't want anyone to get too confused with that. And again, we can use our bottleneck across that, or we just bar our finger. And we need our 5 chord. Now a lot of people would continue up to the 7th fret with this bar. No problem, you can do that. You end up with a D chord there if we're in the key of G. But I want you to try something else. I want you to put your first finger on the 2nd fret, and I want you to bring your pick down onto this 2nd string, and I want this 2nd string to become our 1, 2, 3, 4, and our and beats, I want you to hit the 2nd string and the 1st string together, holding this 2nd fret down with our 1st finger. Should sound like this. I'm playing the 5 chord here instead of up here on the 7th. There's nothing wrong with doing that, in fact it actually sounds quite nice. But if we play it here in other lessons that I give, you'll see that these fingers are now free to play around with that chord. It just opens up some other possibilities. So I'll loop all that round and see if we can get a little chord progression going. We'll play it open. It's up to you if you want to experiment with this palm mute, that's completely up to you. So there's our 1-4-5 progression. If you try and get that down, we're going to start adding that in the next video, adding some more notes to that in the next video. So the next and last thing we're going to do is try and incorporate this lick. And if we take our first exercise, which was this, hopefully you've learnt. And we're going to add that into our G chord, like this. 1 and 2 and the second example. Okay, now I'm going to add the third one we did. Again. Now the third one. So on. That's a good way to start getting these phrases in. And hopefully that's enough for you for now. I'm going to tab all those out for you. Go back, look at this video lots, slow it down. I hope I'm not going too quickly for anyone. There's so much that I want to put in. It's such a great topic, bluegrass, and it's really opened up the cigar box for me. I've got lots to share with you, and hopefully I'll be putting up a lesson not too soon. Take it easy, good luck, and I'll see you next time. Bye for now.